So I'm glad you also brought up that the fact that you write children's stories. I absolutely love reading my kids bedtime stories. I make it into I have an evening routine that I try to always follow, and of course with the live interviews at this time it's going to be a little difficult. But you've written children's books, as I mentioned before. Can you tell us a little bit more about the books that you've written, why it's so important to read
Yeah.
to our children, and how it can improve the experience? I know how I can improve the experience for my kids. So now I let them choose, or I choose a book and then I read. But what can I do extra when I'm reading that? Yeah, so I'm a little selfish sometimes. But
We're
that's
back. We're
my
back
money.
to the Matthew effect. I write a series called Spy Dog and Spy Cat. So basically, my stories are it's like a James Bond character, but it's a dog and a cat, and it's secret undercover agent. So my dog is an MI5 agent undercover as a family pet. So that's the story. However, what I really love reading bedtime stories to my children, but for a while, for a few years, I read them badly. I was too busy. So I had too many emails to do. So I would always read the bedtime story really quickly. And in fact, you can test me on the story. I've got no idea what's in the story because I wasn't really listening. I was just reading it really quickly to get it finished, to get back to the emails. And then I had this epiphany moment where I decided, how would the best dad in the world read tonight's story? A very, very simple question. How would the best dad in the world read it? And I already knew the answer. I just hadn't been doing it. So I thought, okay, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to read it like the best dad in the world. And the answer's obvious. So I got the book off the bedside table. I opened the page, my son got all snuggled up, and I read him a story. And the baddie had a baddie voice. The goodie had a goodie voice. The action came alive. The funny bits were really funny. We didn't miss any of it out. I was disappointed to get to the end, and I turned the page over and left it on a cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun. What's going to happen tomorrow night? Yes, put the book on the bedside table. 7-second hug. Back downstairs to the emails. And I have to say, it took me 2 minutes longer, but it was the highlight of my day. And I started to do that every single night, is reading a bedtime story like I was the best dad in the world. I just pretended I was the best dad in the world. And that was probably one of the smallest things. What that really did was that took the bedtime story off my to-do list, like a chore, onto what I call my to-be list. So who am I being while I'm reading that story? That's the question. So all the time, it's less about what you're doing and more about who are you being while you're doing it. So yeah, just read the bedtime story like the author wanted it read. That's simple. Comes alive.
I like the to-be list. That's very powerful.
But it's also magical moments, mate. You spending 10 minutes reading a bedtime story to your children. Go back to the Matthew effect, right? Your children are excited about books. They're going to be learning to read really quickly. They're going to go to school. They'll be able to read. Everything accelerates. So all the time, we're back to the same thing. Is you're the role model. You're instilling good habits in your children early, and that will set them up for the rest of their lives.
Hey man, I hope you got all the information out of this that you were looking for. If so, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you hit the bell, then every time we come out with a new video, you will be informed. For now, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you soon.